Hello, greetings, our dear viewers. Thank you so much for always keeping it to touch of Uganda Family TV, specifically to this yet another interesting episode of Flourishing Hub, your number one program centered on uplifting, inspiring, and encouraging the young people to be very, very strong or better future leaders of this world. So, and here, remember, this program is always powered by Young and Flourishing, of course, spearheaded by Mr. Herbert Sabiti. But majorly, this program is always centered on four pillars, one of which is money, money, how to make use of money. Of course, you don't want to just make money and splash it anyhow without knowledge of saving and all those things. We also have an aspect of mentorship. It is always very important that you have someone to turn you into something. You always want to have a leader, or you want someone to guide you through things. But also, there is also a pillar of daring. We dare you into various opportunities to face different challenges in this world. Also, we have an aspect of strategy. You cannot do anything without a plan in this world. So those are the four pillars we always sit on here at Flourishing Hub. Well, today is quite an interesting day. I have someone who's going to tell you, majorly the young person who wants to start up something, if you want to be well off in the society and all that. So what we're going to be discussing here today is about networking. How important is networking and why do we need networking? Here with me is Kaijuko Daniel, Kaijuko Challenge. Yes, I want to welcome you and of course first greet our people out there.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Kaijuko Challenge, and I'm glad to be here. It's an honor, and I hope that what we will share today will be of some impact to someone out there, to young youth out there. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Very interesting. So as you've heard, our topic is going to be networking
Yes.
networking for business growth.
Yes.
So I want us to start by defining these two key terms: networking and business growth.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you very much. But just before we tackle that, I would like to say that when I started venturing into business, as early as entire school, I did not know that that those early humble beginnings, could
Matter.
yes could lead me to what I'm doing now.
Okay.
So
You started business in school.
yes, entire school,
Wow.
about S2, S3, we did a couple of small ventures.
Mm.
Um, but I think what is important is that you keep trying. You have to have something that you're doing, that you're selling. You either have to have a product or a service. When we were in entire school, we used to, at the end of the term, organize buses for those kids that were coming to Kampala and did not want to go to the bus park. So we'd go and talk to the guys at Swift Safaris and say, I have about 60 students or 120, and you just have to go to the school, and then they will all, they will all climb the bus, and then you go to take them to National Theatre. It was a service because they didn't have to go to the park, and their parents just picked them from National Theatre.
Okay.
That was one of them. I sold flash discs at the advent of when flash discs had come to Kampala, and it was a cool thing, and so many other things. So it's those small steps,
That
but
matter.
also yes, that matter. So and after that, at the university, I tried my hand at poultry, and that failed. I tried my hand at bit of lending to my fellow students. That failed. But what was important was to keep trying. You have to keep pushing. You have to, when this doesn't work.
By the way, people give up so
Yes,
much,
yes,
mostly
yes.
the young people.
Yes.
Mm.
So and now I'm doing construction.
Okay.
We design and build,
Mm.
and we are filling the gap where in a market where there's integrity is lacking, or you find quality is lacking. So most of our clients, diasporians, because as you may know, they've lost some of their money to relatives. So they send money, and then 2 years down the road, they can't see it. So we've been able to fill that gap. Or people who are busy, they might even be within the country, but they're busy. Probably they work up country, and they can monitor their projects. We've also gone ahead to have, we're one of the few construction companies that have their own fully fledged concrete yard. We manufacture high quality concrete blocks, pavers, fencing poles, curbs, and those fit within the value chain of the construction work. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I'm
That's
running a
great.
construction farm
Mm.
and a concrete production plant where we manufacture blocks and pavers.
Mm.
But like we've talked about, that is what I'm doing now. But
Mm.
it started from selling flash discs,
Mm.
organizing transport for kids to school, and throughout why I'm bringing it up is because first of all, entrepreneurship is a journey.
Okay.
Some people may figure it out on the first business. Some people may figure it out on the through a series of startups and then failing. What is important is not failing.
Mm.
What is important is learning from the failures, so that on the next venture
Mm.
you do not repeat those mistakes.
Okay.
Yes. Um, I'm married. I have a son, 1 year. He's called Kaijuko, Kaijuko Josea Solution, and my wife is called Emily Natkunda. Yeah. So
Okay. That's great.
that's more about myself.
Mm.
So back to your question.
Yes. Networking
yes.
for business growth.
Networking for business growth. I would like to tell everyone out there that the best marketing is by referral, not billboards, not radio adverts, or social media. Because at the end of the day, the person who will contact you for a product or service will want to be confident that you will serve them well. Like I said, we are living in a world where integrity is not is not all the best. We are living in a world where people don't deliver on time, things like that, or are not honest. So referrals are always the best way of marketing. And one of the ways you can get referrals is through being referred. And the only way you can be referred is if you're part of a network of people who have known what you do and can recommend you. Now, I would like to say that first of all, even before you're growing your business, you have to have a product or service. It is very important for the product or service that you're offering to be of high quality. You must be able to deliver on time.
Yes.
You must be able to deliver on your promise. If you say I'll deliver this by this time and in this way, then you must be able to do it. It begins from there. You must have a product or service you're selling. So after that is sorted out, then now we go to your question. So when you're part of a network, and sometimes people do not understand what networking is. Networking simply means being able to being able to be in a group of people, and a group of people could be a church, it could be a school alumni group, it could be like I'm a Rotarian, a member of the Rotary Club of Namugongo. I'm also a member of BNI, Business Networking International, which is a very, very, very intentional business networking group where I met Mr. Albert Sabiti. Actually, I would not have met him had I not joined. So
BNI.
basically, and I always tell people that you can even network at a Kwanjula, at a Kwinjira, as long as there are people. As long as there is a congregation of 3 or 4, 5 people and more, it's very important for you to say what you do. And those people, once they know what you do, then they will be able to refer you. Because it's through their referral that someone is confident that I was referred to by Jackson or Peter. Surely, if Jackson or Peter referred Challenge, surely they should be able to deliver. And when they do refer you, it is important for you to deliver, because the person who you then do the work for or serve will now be the next referral point. Yeah, so that is one of the important aspects of networking. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So what would you term as effective networking?
I think effective networking is being intentional. For example, we might go for a party, or a barrio, or a quinjira, or whatever. If you need to make sure that you say, okay, you know what, today I'll just tell 5 people what I do. Or I'll tell 10 people. Or when there's an opportunity for everyone to introduce themselves, when I introduce myself, I will say, my name is Challenge Kaijuko. I'm into construction. I manufacture concrete blocks and pavers. And if you want to find us, we are located in Chira. That is effective. So amongst the people there, there's someone who may have picked up on that, and after that, maybe about 2 weeks later or a month later, they will have someone asking them, maybe I want to buy blocks or a building. Who can I? Then there was a guy at the wedding launch. There was a guy at the other party who at fellowship, that kind of thing. So effective networking means that you're intentional about it, you talk about yourself, introduce yourself, so that it's clear that people can know what you do or identify you for what you do. Yeah.
And now, can we know some of the key, or some of the key benefits of networking?
Yeah. So there are a number of benefits of networking. One of them is that it's one of the most affordable ways of networking, because you're not going to pay for an advert, and yet. So I'll give an example. You might meet someone at, like I said, at a party, or you may meet someone at church, or you may meet someone in a Rotary fellowship, and you tell them what you do. The person you're telling what you do could be a brother or a cousin to maybe someone that you're looking for, a business that you're looking to serve, and it could be a big order or something like that. So that one can change your life. Yeah. So for me, I think that's one of the ways. Like I said, it's also like it's more affordable. You don't have to pay an any other. But if you're in a place and you find yourself in that place, you're already there. So you might as well make use of that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you? Can I say how can you be able to? Can I say maybe keeping safe the space you've been given? Maybe if like someone has given you referral.
Yes.
How do you maintain that this one where you're going to work you can also refer you to another person, like to keep the cycle running?
Yeah, very good. That's a good question. And I mentioned all that in the beginning. I said, first of all, you must have a product or a service. And then I also said, you must make sure that the product or service that you're offering is of high quality. That's one. Two, so I'm answering the question. What you're offering must be of high quality. Two, you must be able to deliver on time. Three, you must be able to. There's what we call customer experience. From the time someone makes an order to the time they receive the order. Who is in touch with them? For example, if you ordered for food from a restaurant, and they say we've taken your order and it will arrive in 30 minutes. It had better be 30 minutes, but also as it arrives, maybe someone will say your order is now in. If you're say in at Namirembe here and you ordered for food, let's say in Nakawa, and someone after 15 minutes says your food now has reached Kampala Road, and in 30 minutes it's here. So you're delivering on the promise. So that way, the person who has received, the person who has gotten the service is very happy. The experience they got is what will allow them to, and this is interesting, they will even market for you like as if it's their own. Yeah, so that's one of the ways. You need to make sure you deliver on quality. You need to make sure you deliver on your promise in terms of time. Yes, and also customer service. Customer service is key. Sometimes things don't always go well, and of course we don't live in a perfect world. Sometimes the truck will break down. I've had instances where you're transporting fencing poles. The other day I was taking fencing poles to Chegegwa, and the Fuso truck, because of the weight, could not climb one of the hills. So so the customer the other side did not receive them on time, and then on top of that they had to remove them from the bigger truck to smaller trucks. So they lost about a day and a half, and also they spent more on getting these smaller trucks. But that was not really intentional, but they understood. So things happen. So, but you need to make sure that you're in touch. Customer service is key, You need to make sure you're in touch with the client. At the end of the day, like I said, it's about the experience the customer goes through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we now talk about you yourself? You started by giving us a very good background of where you came from. Can you share some stories where networking has significantly helped you so much?
I personally always tell my friends that I thrive on networking. I don't think I have had to advertise.
Okay.
Even if it's now the norm. Why it's the norm now? Of course, now like us who are dealing with who are targeting clients who, let's say in the diaspora or anyone. These days people Google, so you now have to have a website. So we're getting into it. You have to have a social media platform. Although my business is sometimes B2B, business to business, so it's not B2C where you're dealing with consumers like cosmetics. So where you really have to be on Instagram and you have to be on TikTok and you have to be on all these other. So for me, so first of all, I've gotten business through being a member of Rotary. There's so many people, because like I said, all these things that we are offering, the services anyone is offering, are being offered to people. These people are, as long as where people gather, they are, those are potential customers. So I've gotten business through networking, through Rotary, visiting other clubs. I've been able to get a lot of business from joining BNI. BNI is one of the I think the most successful business networking organizations, because the purpose of BNI is for people to, and it's special, it's specific that and intentional, that different business owners meet in one room, so that we're able to benefit from people, from members and their referrals. So BNI, I've gotten a lot of business from BNI. It's one of those networking platforms. I've gotten businesses. I got a client because I sat next to a gentleman at San Juanjula function. So for me, it has been, like I said, and of course, like I said, once you get the business, you also have some extra effort to do to make sure that you deliver on the promise. Yeah, so it's not one time. You have to, until the client is satisfied. Yeah, so those are some of the ways I've been able to get business.
I happened to attend some event for BNI one day, and I got to realize that you find different people all working on the same thing.
Yes.
Like you find if it is people to do with construction, you find there are so many.
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
Okay, so what happens is, so first of all, BNI is an organization. It's in 77 countries. It's the biggest referral network organization. It has been around, I think, for over 20 years. Began in the late 1980s. And the idea is basically to get each different business owner one category per category, and then you put in what we call a chapter. So they will, for example, you'll have one person doing tax, and once there is a person doing tax, you're protected. You have maybe auditor, you have an accountant. Now I'm mentioning this because they seem to be similar, like to your question,
Yes.
accountant, auditor, tax. Then you'll have maybe, let's say and then we are divided in what we call power teams. Power teams are teams of businesses that have the same contact sphere of customers. So now, like in my case, my power team has architect, an architect. It has me, a contractor. It has interior designer. It has cleaning and fumigation. It has gentleman does terrazzo. It has so basically what happens is that we all specialize. We and you see now, like when I'm working on a project, I'll know that when I reach the roof, I'll contact the roofer in my power team. There's a gentleman who does terrazzo. When it comes to terrazzo, I'll contact him. When it comes to there's a gentleman that does furniture, so door frames, kitchen cabinets. So we're able to feed into each other. So instead of going out to get these services, so previously before I joined BNI, I would get them out. I would get them out there, but now I get them inside. And one of the advantages that you get also by dealing with people in BNI is credibility. So you're sure that you're going to have someone do the job and do it well most of the times. So yeah, so that's one of the ways. BNI is about knowing that this person does this and they're specifically doing this. Sometimes they may overlap, like the example I gave you of an accountant, an auditor, and a taxman. Yeah, but they are different. Okay. So now when the auditor gets a client in their firm that needs audit service, or rather tax services, then they will forward them to, and so on and so forth. Okay. Yes.
Interesting. Can we also talk about during networking?
Yes.
What are some of the common mistakes maybe people do? Because some people take networking for different reasons.
Yes.
I can say opportunities, but misuse the opportunities. What are some of the mistakes people do while in the intention of networking?
Yes, so that's a very important question. Sometimes you'll only have one chance to meet that person that you very wanted to meet. You'll only have one chance to meet Elon Musk or Donald Trump. What you say, so in BNI, when we are presenting, we are trained to present in 20 seconds. So in networking, you've got to hit the point. You've got to hit the point. You've got to hit the point within a very short time, because you don't have a lot of time. It's like when like after church service and people are out and greeting each other.
Yeah.
So they only have like 5 seconds for, or maybe 20 seconds for someone's attention. So one of those mistakes is being ambiguous and not hitting the point. So you need to make sure when you meet someone or introduce someone, you say who you are, what you do. That kind of thing is very important for someone to quickly be able to know what you do. Because in a world where there's a lot of noise, people don't have time to decipher so much. So you need to be able to be very specific. Yeah, hit the point, and that way you're able to take advantage. Yes. Because remember, in a space where there are like maybe 60 people, the more people you can probably meet or talk to, the better for you. So you need to be very specific so that you move on to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can small businesses or maybe startups build a strong networking scope?
Now, that's a very important question. The first important thing they need to do, the business owner. So business is run by the individual. So you're the business. And in the beginning, of course, you're the general manager, you're the sweeper, you're the accountant, you're the that kind of thing. So you need to first of all sacrifice a lot of time. Two, you need to look for other people. So I'm talking about collaboration. You need to make sure that you meet other people in your similar business and talk to them. Not all of them are mean. Not all of them will. Some are generous with information. Learn from them. There will be times when they get a big job, they get a small job, and they feel they can't do it, then they'll slide it to you. So you need to network with people. You need to begin with people who are doing what you do, and that way you'll first of all learn from them, and two, you'll be able to get some business from them through collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people fear competition. How do I, if I'm a person starting up, how do I make sure that the person who's giving me advice doesn't want me to outcompete them?
I think it's about giver's gain, being free. People need to change it's a mindset thing. For me, I believe usually people come to me when they want to start up factory. I've helped so many people who want to begin factories of making blocks and pavers and so on. And interestingly, even when they start, because they start in different locations, I have come to benefit, because there are times when they've run out of a product or they can't understand order, and then they throw it. So it's always good. It's just a mindset thing that you should help. Should be able to help others. I don't think there's anything like competition, because there's enough for everyone out there. Yeah, there's enough business for everyone out there. So I think it's a mindset change. Some people are like that. They probably mean with information, which I don't think in this day and age anyone should. But it's unfortunate that some are like that. But usually most people are now shaping up. They are free to give information, because when you help, in turn you'll be able to be helped in future. Yeah.
So your encouragement to those starting up is about networking.
Yeah. First of all, it is about believing in yourself. Start small while thinking big. Capital should not be an issue. What is important is for you to be good at. You see, Walt Disney said, once you're good at what you do, the world will look for you. So just make sure you're very good at whatever it is. If you've begun like a small bakery, okay, if you've gone for training to learn how to do bakery, cake, confectionery, start with that 1, 2, 3, 4 cakes. Begin with a per round. Usually family is the beginning point in networking. Tell your friends, your family, your OBs, people that are around you. Those are the first beginning points. After doing that, make sure, like I talked about, give them a good product or service, and then those will begin to refer you into their networks. Yeah. Wow. So basically, it's as simple as that. Start small while thinking big. Capital is not the issue. The issue is always to make sure what you're doing, do it very well. And even people will pick interest in you and even fund you. And of course, being honest and transparent. In BNI, we have a philosophy. We believe that two things. We believe that visibility plus credibility will always guarantee you profitability. That's it. That's one simple formula of summarizing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
People, mostly the young ones, are very impatient when it comes to starting up.
Yes.
They always want results faster.
Yes.
How would you? What best advice do you give?
The advice I would give them is that they need to, when you're running, currently the Olympics are going on right now, and if you notice, everyone has a lane.
Yeah, sure.
So there are like 6 lanes. So you need to focus in your lane. Okay. And they should know that life is a marathon, not a sprint. So if everyone has their own journey. So they just need to do the right thing, and the right thing usually is to be able to do the right, to have a product, offer it well, be honest, be transparent, and everything else will fall in place. Like the Bible, the Bible verse where they say, you know, trust, God, and then all the things are better unto you. So anyway, so you focus, seek first, the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. So just do the right thing, and somehow you'll see things will just work themselves out. Let them be patient, because at the end of the day, if you're impatient, you'll crash. Just be patient, remain in your line, try and learn, keep learning. There are people. If someone refuses to give information, go to the next person. There are so many people that are willing to help you. Yeah. So, and then, like I said, and it shouldn't be about capital. What is important is for you to start. People help people who are already moving. So I always tell people that even God helps those who help themselves. Chance favors the prepared. When you're moving, someone who is, let's assume, because now I've never been employed from when I left the university. I don't know what it means to get a salary. So, but there were times when everyone was like, get a job. But I didn't, you see, I always wanted to become like Bill Gates. You cannot. If you look at the Forbes list of the richest people, none of them is employed. I don't see any employee there. So I said I cannot take that path. So I said let me struggle, and I struggled. I was still struggling, but for me, I believe that entrepreneurship is the only way that can lead you to freedom. To do what you do, to do what you want, and because in entrepreneurship, the growth is exponential. So you make, you lose, but you're going up. With the salary, it's just flat. Then a small rise and flat for a long time, and before you know it, you're 50 years. But entrepreneurship is the only way to freedom. There is no one who will ever become a billionaire when they're employed. It's not there, unless of course our colleagues who are So yeah, but if you're honestly working in this world, entrepreneurship is the only way that you'll ever get freedom. So I already say that. Let them be patient. It all falls in place. Someone who, if for example you finished the university, instead of staying home, go to a car training, learn a skill. It's very important to have a skill. Did you know that, for example, if you at S4 you can do, I'm told you can go to CPA and you can learn, you can after S4 I'm told you can go and learn those CPA modules, and you're able to help. You can begin earning, and then after that maybe you can go for further. So it's about getting. You need to have a skill. So I encourage them to get skills, and then when you can use those skills to make you money, then you save, then like that. And then don't give up. Of course, you have to keep pushing, because at the end of the day, the world is hard. The world is made in such a way that you're supposed to, those who punch through are the ones who succeed. It's like a force. So you need to have a skill. You need to be honest. You need to be hardworking. Instead of staying home, look for something to do. Like that. And over time, it all begins to fall in place.
Oh wow,
yes.
Interesting there. You've heard it from him very well. This world is not a smooth one. It is very rough. So for you to get something for yourself, you really have to be rough as well. You have to punch hard as yourself. And of course, one important thing is not giving up there in life. I think you've also heard that from his submission here. So we are still discussing this, only that we are going in for a very short break and return with more.